There are some big changes expected with NXT because it does appear that Triple H is coming back. But before we could talk about that, guys, we're going to talk about Rhea Ripley, Bryan Danielson, AEW Forbidden Door. We got to talk about Wrestling Entertainment Series. So much coming up. Make sure you guys subscribe for more. With that being said, let's talk about Rhea Ripley. If you guys didn't know, Rhea Ripley apparently has a brain injury. There was a comment left on her Instagram, and Rhea Ripley basically said, brain/teeth. Can't see a brain injury, stop being incompetent and reaching at nothing. So this is the response from Rhea Ripley when she's been called out by a fan. Now, as you guys know, Rhea Ripley and the Judgment Day obviously have big plans in WWE. WWE was getting ready to prep Rhea Ripley for the World Women's Championship on Raw. However, brain injury obviously got pulled from the show. Now, look, first and foremost, as you guys know, if you watch my channel, I'm a big proponent on if you're injured, get healthy. Brain injuries are no joke. We have seen time and time again brain injuries being a big issue. Obviously, Jeff Hardy kind of scared the wrestling world when he mentioned that he had to go get a brain scan. That was ultimately one of the big things that led to a change within creative plans for AEW. So first and foremost, I really don't care about the Judgment Day and the storylines that are being interrupted here. My point that I'm making is Rhea Ripley's an all-star. She's a great athlete. She's a great entertainer. She's really good at what she does. And it's more important that she gets this injury taken care of. Hopefully it's minor. Hopefully it's nothing serious. And then when the time is right, she could come back to wrestling and do what she does best. But for right now, for those who are wondering what's happening with Rhea Ripley, we finally have a little sense of knowledge here thanks to that Instagram comment. So nonetheless, it's something to keep in mind. Rhea Ripley is not cleared. Don't know when she will be cleared. I'll keep you guys updated. But as of right now, it's very apparent that we shouldn't expect her in a WWE ring soon. Speaking of injuries, Bryan Danielson expected to be there on AEW Dynamite to let the world know his plans. And it appears Bryan Danielson will not be cleared in time for Forbidden Door. Even though AEW did hype up the Zack Sabre Jr. match, it does not appear that Bryan Danielson's been cleared. This is going to be really interesting to see what happens here. Obviously, with Blood and Guts as well, I'm going to be there for the Detroit show, but it doesn't appear that Bryan Danielson will be cleared in time for that. We don't know the severity of his injury, but this Forbidden Door pay-per-view has quite a few talent not on the card, and that is somewhat concerning because when you look at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, you thought maybe they would go out with a bang, but clearly there are some notable names missing. Maybe it's injuries, maybe it's, politics or whatever it may be. We don't have Kota Ibushi. Maybe that changes, but there's no Kota Ibushi. There's no Bryan Danielson. Obviously, CM Punk is gone. There's quite a few heavy hitters missing the show. Now, with that being said, I also want to make it very clear with Bryan Danielson's injury. We had talked about it before that he may not be cleared in time. Now it appears that he won't be cleared in time, and he's going to address this on AEW Dynamite. With that being said, I said it before, and just as a quick reminder, if you missed that video where I talked about it, I think Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. should be on free TV when the time is right. Give him a 60-minute submission match. It's going to be a banger. And, that way you can kind of keep the door open with New Japan, and hopefully Bryan Danielson is ready to go soon. Just like Rhea Ripley, we don't really know too much about the injury, but as always, we hope for the best. Now, with that being said, I do want to turn our attention to this very interesting stuff that is happening on Wrestling Entertainment Series. If you guys don't know what Wrestling Entertainment Series, it is this new promotion led by AOP, now known as Legion of Pain. So if you guys didn't know before, it had a different date, and then it got rescheduled, and then there was some stuff happening. They basically just kind of got screwed with real life stuff. And they made some changes. So the show is going to go on as normal. It's going to go on July 9th. So in 16 days, this show is going to be taking place at the Nottingham, in Nottingham, England. And basically, Braun Strowman was set to take on Alistair Overeem. That does not appear to be the case. So Alistair Overeem versus Moose. Lena Fanine, a.k.a. Nia Jax, will take on CJ Perry. So that match did not get changed. Legion of Pain versus BT Gunn versus Kez Evans for the Tag Team Championship match. Now, with that being said, Steve Macklin and Weston Blake were scheduled here. They are not on this card anymore. Steph DeLander and Anastasia versus She-Wolves. If you guys don't know who Steph DeLander is, that is Persia Pirotta, who was recently released by WWE. This will be for the Women's World Tag Team Championship. So obviously that was another match that was changed. We have Samurai Del Sol versus Lindsay Dorado. Dean Mahatni versus Damo Mackel, which is basically Mojo Rawley versus Killian Dane. We have Eric Young versus Zach Zodiac. That's going to be on the free live pre-show. And then we're going to have No Way Jose versus Jody Fleisch. So this is going to be really interesting. As you guys know, this is a pretty aggressive event for them. They're obviously charging quite a bit of, for the tickets. It's a massive arena, compared to normal indie events. Obviously, Alistair Overeem versus Moose could be, it could be a big draw. I don't know. The UK scene, it's very different from the US. Alistair Overeem, obviously, he's known for his Glory kickboxing history and UFC history. He's also been under fire for comments that he's made about pro wrestling. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. This is going to be very, very interesting. The card, in my opinion, doesn't look as good as it was before. But, hey, these guys are trying something at a very, very difficult time. And I support it, man. I support the effort. I think when there's more companies out there that exist and when there's more people doing this type of stuff, it's just healthier in general for the pro wrestling world. So in 16 days, this will be going down. Let me know what you guys think. I think some of these additions are pretty cool. Persia Parada, hopefully we see a little bit more of her. And then, Eric Young, can't go wrong with that either. All right, guys, I want to turn our attention to the final story of today's video, Triple H. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Triple H and what that might mean for WWE because of the fact that we have seen Vince McMahon and this investigation stuff go down. And everything that's happening right now, it's just kind of a waiting game. People think that Triple H is going to be running WWE, and that's always a possibility. I guess you never really know. But at the same time, it does seem very interesting that right now Triple H was seen at the Performance Center, giving a speech and basically letting people know that he is back. Now, we have known for a while that Triple H was always set to come back to NXT. We also talked about recently how WWE does have a plan for NXT to continue to expand globally, which was something that was talked about previously. We know that Shawn Michaels was running NXT. Here's the thing. There has been talks for a while, and the original belief was that when NXT went to NXT 2.0, it would not be a permanent change. The idea was that they were going to go back to being developmental system, but they needed to make an aggressive change to let people know that NXT is completely different. So the belief here is that NXT will eventually transition yet again, maybe not from the branding perspective in terms of like NXT, the colors and stuff. We don't know about that, but the idea is that NXT 2.0 will eventually drop the 2.0 name. Triple H is going to be taking over NXT. And look, here's the thing. We don't know what's happening with Triple H, but I imagine, with Triple H coming back and looking at the Vince McMahon situation, just saying maybe, possibility, Stephanie running, main roster stuff with Nick Khan, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels running NXT. We might be able to get pretty excited soon about the potential of NXT, which is awesome. Shawn Michaels and NXT have been a really great combination in recent months. Yes, the colors, the new logo, maybe it wasn't the most appealing change in the world, but programming-wise, to be honest, if you actually watch the show, you would know that the booking and the storylines and like their commitment to not doing stupid booking and illogical stuff remains pretty good. So I appreciate that NXT has taken that role. I think we're going to get ready for a major shakeup soon. Triple H is back. He's announced it to the people. Great. We've known for a while that Triple H was going to come back. So now that it's just like officially out there, that's great. And we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think down below.